Hey everyone, feeling a little overwhelmed by all the information out there these days. I know I do. That's why you've tasked us with this deep dive into newsletters. We're going to be looking at 3 different articles each, with a ton of recommendations for newsletters that are really worth checking out.
Yeah, there's so much to explore.
Right, it's like a whole world of curated information just waiting to be discovered. So our
hmm
first article, it's actually from e-learning industry. They put together a list of 10 newsletters they think are particularly great, and there's a real mix in there. Everything from one for HR professionals to one that focuses on positive news, which I thought was pretty cool. And they even have one for staying up to date on the latest developments in e-learning, which makes sense given, it's e-learning industry.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I found really interesting is they also highlighted their own exclusive author newsletter. And that kind of ties into something we're seeing across the other 2 articles as well, which is this growing trend of newsletters specifically for creators and entrepreneurs. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's a smart move because creators are always looking for ways to connect directly with their audience. And a newsletter gives them a platform to do that, to share their expertise, their insights, build relationships, and even generate revenue too.
It's like creating their own little media empire in a way.
Hmm.
Okay, but before we get too deep into the world of creator newsletters, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Our third article dives into the giants of the newsletter world,
Hmm?
the ones with millions of subscribers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, big time. So what can we learn from these heavy hitters? And what does their success tell us about the future of newsletters?
Well, just the fact that they have these massive followings, it tells us that people are hungry for curated information, something that's delivered in a way that's convenient and engaging. Like take the New York Times The Morning, for example. It has over 17 million subscribers. I mean, that's huge. And I think it speaks to the power of high-quality, comprehensive news coverage. In a world of information overload and fake news, people want sources they can trust.
Yeah, totally. It's like having a trusted friend filter through all the noise and give you the most important news right in your inbox. So what are some of the other big names that really stood out to you?
Um, the Daily Skim is a good one.
Mm,
They've really tapped into this need for concise news, you know, especially for busy readers who don't have a ton of time to spend on lengthy articles. Plus, they have this conversational, almost cheeky tone that I think makes them stand out.
I love that. It's like getting your news from a friend who's witty and knows how to cut to the chase.
Yeah.
So we've got The Morning for in-depth coverage, The Daily Skim for quick summaries. What other approaches are resonating with readers?
Well, Morning Brew has found a lot of success by taking a more lighthearted approach to business and finance news. They managed to inject humor and personality into what could be pretty dry topics.
That's smart. They're proving that you don't have to be stuffy and serious to provide valuable information. So what do you think listeners are? You drawn to newsletters that are straight to the point or those that inject a bit of humor? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to The Other Opinion for more deep dives into all sorts of interesting topics. Share this deep dive with your friends, and let's get a conversation going.
Yeah, these examples really highlight the point that a successful newsletter needs a clear voice and a format that resonates with its audience. It's not just about the information, it's about how that information is packaged and delivered.
Absolutely. So now that we've got a sense of the landscape, from those niche publications to the industry giants,
Yeah.
how do we navigate this vast world and find the newsletters that truly resonate with us? That's what we'll explore in just a bit.
It's really about finding those newsletters that fit our own needs and interests right.
Exactly. Before we jump to a break, we were talking about how successful newsletters have those key elements like quality content, a clear voice, and a format that really clicks with their audience. But now the question is, how do we as readers actually find those newsletters? There are so many out there, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah, it can. It's like going into a bookstore with no idea what you're looking for. You need some kind of starting point.
Totally. So what advice would you give someone who's feeling lost in the sea of newsletter options?
I think it's important to start with yourself. What are you hoping to get out of reading newsletters? Are you looking for professional development, inspiration, or just a way to stay informed about a particular topic you're passionate about?
That's a good point. Once you have a better sense of your goals, you can start to narrow down the choices. What other things should we keep in mind when we're checking out different newsletters?
Well, the format and style are pretty important. Do you prefer something quick and scannable with bullet points and summaries? Or do you like to really dive into longer articles and analyses?
Oh, and what about the tone? Like, do you enjoy a bit of humor and personality in your reading material? Or do you prefer a more serious and straightforward approach?
Exactly. It's all about finding what feels right for you.
It's like trying on different pairs of jeans until you find the perfect fit. Okay, so we've got the content, the format, the style. What about how often we want to hear from these newsletters?
Oh, yeah, frequency is a big one. Some people love getting daily updates, while others prefer a weekly or even monthly digest.
Right, it's about finding that balance between staying informed and not getting completely overwhelmed. So do you think it's better to subscribe to just a handful of carefully chosen newsletters? Or do you just go for it and subscribe to a bunch and see what sticks?
I think a more curated approach is usually better. It's easy to get bogged down if your inbox is overflowing with newsletters you don't have time to read. So start with a few that genuinely interest you and see how it goes. You can always add more or unsubscribe from ones that aren't a good fit.
Right, unsubscribing is always an option. Don't be afraid to hit that button if a newsletter isn't doing it for you.
Definitely.
Your inbox is your space. Curate it in a way that makes you happy. Now, speaking of recommendations, one of the articles we're looking at today actually provides a fantastic list of 10 specific newsletters. It's the one from e-learning industry. So let's take a quick look at those and see what makes each one unique.
Yeah, let's dive in.
Okay, first up, we've got a newsletter that's all about keeping you up to date on the latest trends and best practices in your field. Like if you're an HR professional or a marketer or a software developer, it's a must-read for anyone who wants to stay ahead of the curve.
That's super valuable, especially in today's world where things are changing so rapidly.
Totally. Okay, next we have a newsletter that delivers daily insights into the world of business and technology. And it's known for being super witty and concise, which I love.
Yeah, perfect for those of us who are always short on time.
Exactly. Now, for something a little different, we have a newsletter that focuses entirely on positive news and stories.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's a nice antidote to all the negativity that we're constantly bombarded with.
Yeah,
It's a good reminder that there's still a lot of good happening in the world.
absolutely.
Then we have a newsletter that's geared toward creative entrepreneurs. It's full of tips, advice, and resources for building a successful business around your passion.
That's so relevant these days with so many people looking to turn their hobbies into something more.
I know, right?
Okay, next up is a newsletter that's specifically for anyone involved in the world of online learning.
Okay.
So teachers, course creators, instructional designers, you name it. It's a great way to stay informed about the latest developments and trends in e-learning.
That's cool.
We also have a newsletter that's like a weekly dose of intellectual stimulation. It covers a wide range of topics from science and philosophy to technology and culture.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it's like having a mini lecture delivered straight to your inbox.
I love that.
Then we have another newsletter that shares uplifting news and stories, kind of similar to the one we talked about earlier. Just a little dose of positivity to brighten your day. I'm all for that.
Okay, and then there's a newsletter that's written by a well-known author and speaker. It's more personal and lifestyle focused, sharing their thoughts, experiences, and insights on a variety of topics.
That sounds intriguing.
Yeah, I think it would be a really interesting read. And last but not least, we have a newsletter for all the nerds out there. I'm not kidding. It covers everything from pop culture and technology to gaming and entertainment.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a great way to geek out and stay up to date on all the latest happenings.
So that's 10 different newsletters, each with its own unique flavor.
I know, right? And remember, these are just a starting point. There are tons of other amazing newsletters out there just waiting to be discovered. So what do you think, listeners? Are you excited to dive into the world of newsletters? Let us know in the comments which ones you're most interested in checking out. And don't forget to like and subscribe to The Other Opinion for more deep dives into fascinating topics.
The key is to be curious. Explore your options and find the newsletters that really speak to you.
Exactly. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the future of newsletters. That third article we mentioned, the one about the biggest newsletters in the world, it gives us some clues about where this whole thing is headed. What are your thoughts on how newsletters might evolve in the coming years? And what role do you think technology will play?
Well, one thing that's becoming really clear is the growing importance of personalization. We're seeing more and more newsletters that let readers customize their content preferences, so they only get the information that's most relevant to them.
Yeah, it's like having a personal curator for your inbox.
Exactly.
No more wading through irrelevant stuff. It's the good stuff.
And with AI becoming more sophisticated, I think we can expect to see even more personalized newsletters in the future. Newsletters that can learn your reading habits, your interests, and deliver content that's tailored specifically to you.
Wow, that's kind of mind-blowing. Imagine a newsletter that evolves alongside you as you grow and change. It's like having a super smart friend who's always recommending just the right things at just the right time.
Yeah, exactly.
So personalization is definitely a big one. What other trends are you seeing?
Another one that's gaining momentum is the use of multimedia in newsletters. We're seeing more audio, video, even interactive elements being incorporated.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it makes the whole experience more engaging and immersive.
I can see that. It's like taking the best aspects of different mediums and bringing them together in one place.
Exactly.
You could listen to an interview, watch a video demonstration, even participate in a poll, all within the context of your favorite newsletter.
And I think as technology continues to advance, we'll see even more creative and innovative approaches to newsletter design and delivery.
So the future of newsletters is looking pretty bright then.
I think so, yeah. More personalization, more interactivity, and a continued focus on high-quality content.
That's exciting. What do you think, listeners? Are you as excited about these emerging trends as we are? Let us know in the comments. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe to The Other Opinion for more deep dives into all sorts of fascinating topics. Tell us what your other opinion is. Share it with your friends.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think it's important to remember that while technology is a huge part of the evolution of newsletters, it's still all about human connection at the end of the day.
Right. It's about people sharing ideas and information and building community.
Exactly.
So as you explore the world of newsletters, look for the ones that really speak to you, the ones that inform you, inspire you, and connect you with others who share your passions.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of newsletters. Remember, this was an AI podcast, so some of the information might be wrong. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment your other opinions, subscribe, and share with your friends. And be sure to check out The Other Opinion for more insightful discussions. Until next time, happy reading, everyone.